It's the Jocka Man from Shaolin, representing NYC. Love my home.
Man, give me the voice.
Well, I'll tell you. It's gonna get pretty hot out there. You know why? Because the Jocka Man's out for a suckling meal.
Clutch up. Oh!
Say you got answers, you gotta help me through.
Sit up,
There's darkness in your heart, but we're both content to play our parts. You still got that face that I like, no matter how hard I fight, it takes a hold of me. And every time that I say it's the last, before I know it I'm back, it takes a hold of me right now. I could give it all up, say I made up my mind, but there's something in my blood that makes me cross those lines. I know there's darkness in my heart, but we're both content to play our parts.
Oh, yeah.
You still got that face that I like, no matter how hard I fight, it takes a hold of me. And every time I say it's the last, before I know it I'm back, it takes a hold of me right now. It takes a hold of me right
If I had a spirit animal, what would it be? Would it be a shark? No. Would it be a shark? No. It would be a monkey. Like my nigga Harambe. One of the best. Rest in peace, my father.
face that I like, no matter how hard I fight, it takes a hold of me. And every time that I say it's the last, before I know it I'm back, it takes a hold of me right now.
How you doing, people? If you didn't come out here to have a good time, then please.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 133 of White Heat. I'm your producer here at the Full Circle Radio Network, Joseph J. Alexander. Joining me is my illustrious co-host, Mr. Matthew James. Matt, how you doing today?
Hey man, how are you? Sorry about all the bad news this week, brother.
Yeah, it's been kind of shitty, but rather than do a 10 bell, I figured Mike Santana shared that video, and figured we'd just drop it right at the beginning of the show. Those of you who are unfamiliar, we lost someone in the business last week. Johnny Manga, as someone knew him. Johnny Guevara, as his actual given name was. But to most of us, he was known as Jaka. He was a staple around the New York, New Jersey area for quite a while. I worked with him on a few occasions. He was a regular in ISW. That's usually where I ran into him. He was also a regular in Chikara. And he touched a lot of people around here, and it was a sudden death. The details surrounding his death being reported by some places is not quite accurate. However, it's not my place to speak on it on behalf of his family. Matt, I'll have a private conversation with you afterwards about it, but it was nothing. There was no foul play. There was nothing illegal involved. None of that. He died in the hospital from medical failure, and we lost him. And we're gonna leave it at that. But he will sorely be missed. And did you ever get to work with Jaka, Matt?
I don't think that I, unless he worked with you guys or worked with Leary, because those were the only guys bringing in the New York guys at the time. Obviously familiar with Jaka, and I know everyone that worked with Jaka. And I never worked for Ed in ISW because you guys had your own ring announcer there.
I ended up being the ring announcer half the time there for the VIP show from the balcony.
Dude, I tried. I told Ed that I would ring announce on stilts. I told him I would do anything to be a part of that show, and he told me that he had a guy and he had to use him. He was
yeah, it was this kid that came down from Canada with the Canadian guys, and he was all right. Nothing against him, but it's funny because he never ring announced because they would do the VIP show. It wasn't a pre-show, it was a pay extra, and he was never ready, so would have me announce the pre-shows.
So no, but I mean, there's not anyone that I did know that didn't have something nice to say, and was terribly upset this past week. Obviously, you saw that video from Mike Santana. Saw a lot of guys in that video that I haven't seen Pinky in God forever, and saw a lot of other guys in there. Who was the ref there with the long hair? I always liked him. He wrestled and he reffed. Spanish guy. He was in that video a couple times. He had the long hair.
That's the other. That's the other Mike Santana.
That's the other Santana. That's what I thought. I thought
Santana from Rhode Island. Yeah.
I always liked that guy.
Yeah, he was a good kid. It was funny because Jaka was a hell of a worker. That I don't think got nearly enough attention at the time, but he was one of those guys where back in the day, because I remember stuff was going on. You remember that one time Eric brought in Chris Dickinson and had me manage him?
Yes.
So after that, apparently Dickinson was talking me up to the other guys and to his running mates and stuff about it and how much fucking fun he had and shit. And Pinky was really lobbying for me to manage Team Pazuzu, and Pinky Jaka was all for it too. They thought it would have been great. Unfortunately, by that time, Eric and Pinky had their falling out. And I was really only working for Eric. I wasn't looking for extra bookings outside. So I was really just doing Eric, and I was doing ISW, and that was about it. And I remember Johnny Miyagi was pushing for it. He was trying to plant seeds on Facebook, we need to have Defiant Inc. versus Team Pazuzu, because it was right after I had left Defiant Inc. And I would have had a blast if I had, because, I got along with those guys for the most part. That was, and for those who were unfamiliar, at the time, at least, Team Pazuzu was basically made up of Chris Dickinson, Pinky Sanchez, Jaka, and EYFBO, who would later go on to become LAX and Proud and Powerful, Santana and Ortiz. And for a short time, Christina Von Eerie was part of that group, but we don't like to talk about that because she ruins people's lives. But yeah, so yeah, it just really sucks. He was young, and I could hear you in my head yesterday. I could hear you going, "Can we get through one fucking month without having to do a damn 10-bell salute?" because
Yeah, I mean, that's the cynic in me, but obviously
but I
when these
get
things
it.
happen,
Yeah.
you have to pay your respects and pay your tributes, and these are, things we're not going to New York for the send off. We're not going to we have to pay our tributes in our own way, the way that we can.
Right.
And
You have to.
we can't be heartless and not mention it also, and there'd be no reason not to mention it. Was he House of Glory? Who trained Jaka?
Joe. No, Jocko was. He was. I think he trained at Chikara.
Okay.
I'm almost positive. If not, it was somewhere in New York. It was Gleason's or the Doghouse or something. But because he was really big in Chikara when he was still Johnny Manga before he changed to Jaka. But because he did a lot of stuff on there. I mean, like I said, he was a hell of a fucking worker and just super fucking funny, super fucking nice. Like no one ever had a bad thing to say about him. And that's why I hate seeing like assholes on social media being like, like they posted like one of the last shows he did up here, like he did like Wrestling Open or Beyond or something up at the Whitey.
Yeah.
And he had shaved his head recently, and he had a beard. And everyone's like, "Oh yeah, Timu Rusev, no loss there, or never heard of him, so he's a fucking nobody." Blah blah blah. And I'm like, "Fuck you." Like, just because you haven't heard of him doesn't mean that he wasn't fucking that he wasn't talented and that he wasn't a friend to so many of us.
Those are just people engagement farming. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna get those. So obviously, don't let that dissuade you in any way from speaking on the life of this man. And no, Terribly Young is 41 years old
Yeah.
or 40 years old.
Yeah.
So
Unfortunately, it happened with his family in Florida, so the funeral on Monday is in Florida. It's not up here. So I know there's a lot of workers that are kind of sad that they're not going to be able to make it down. Which, I mean, it is what it is. But
have you spoken to Ed?
Oh yeah, he was the one that told me.
Oh.
Because we kind of knew it was coming when the announcement happened, and that was what really sucked. But yeah, it was. He was. He didn't take it well. Like I said, Pinky is not taking it well. Mike Santana, it's hitting him hard, and rightfully so, because Jocko was one of the guys that really pushed for Santana and Ortiz to get booked more, and really stuck up for them. So yeah, it just it really sucks, and he's gonna be missed. Yeah, but R.I.P. Jaka. You're in our thoughts. You're in our prayers. It's in the middle of the day, so I'm not going to be drinking alcohol right now. But I will have a shot later in your honor. And one last time, horns up for Team Pazuzu, and YEOW! Okay. We've gotten the somber part of the show over with. But we'll move on. We're going to do what we do. We're going to have some fun. The fuck? Oh, sorry, I gotta... Yeah, I know. Everybody's sending me this shit. Apparently Charlie Kirk just got shot.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, now we can timestamp.
So.
Now everyone can timestamp. Now everyone can timestamp and know when we're recording.
Oh God. So yeah, I'm just looking for. There we go. I want to make sure we stick to the format that I sent you. Okay, we hit that. Okay, so not a lot of WWE stuff we're going over this week because it's an in-between week. We're waiting on WrestlePalooza to happen. Everything's kind of spinning its wheels. I guess there's going to be a big NXT homecoming show at Full Sail next week. So they started doing the build for that last night. Apparently, I saw something. I saw still with like, I'm guessing it's a 6-man between JC Jane and Toxic Fatal, whatever the fuck Sean named them, against Rhea Ripley, Stephanie Facker, and Tiffany Stratton.
Yep, that was a hell of a pop. I saw some of that last night. I also really enjoyed Friday Night SmackDown this past week, and SmackDown being back to 2 hours is so digestible again. And I know I say that a lot, but I'm becoming less and less. It's hard for me to do the 5-hour cards. And it's hard for 3 hours of television too. I love what Raw's doing. Raw is going until they run out of steam, and then they're ending the show. And SmackDown is back to a tight and tasty 2 hours. 3 hours was way too long. And SmackDown not just with the Bloodline in the last couple of years, has been the better show, I think, until basically January when Raw went to 2.5 hours. Raw actually started doing less time. The only time they went the full 3 hours is I think that first night.
That first
And
night,
everything after that has been like
I think the night after
10:35.
Mania went to like 2:45, I think. But yeah.
So that's been really it's been really great to watch that. Hell of an opener with John and Sami Zayn, and that ended exactly how I thought it was going to end. Everyone's strong. All two guys in the ring, both guys in the ring are strong, and the Beast is strong. And that was
I was half wrong on the finish. I thought it was going to be a schmaz, but I thought it was going to be the Tongans doing the run in, not Brock.
I just think they're going to need a build here, and Palooza just keeps getting bigger and bigger. So I think they want Brock on TV. I wouldn't be surprised if he's in Raw next Monday night in Springfield. And
Cena's there, so yeah, probably.
The new merch drop today. It's all Springfield College, John's alma mater. So I think I'll be picking up a shirt for that.
Right?
Yeah, I am going to go. Tickets were not inexpensive. They were an expensive ticket, not as expensive as the pre-sale that went on sale today or yesterday for Raw in Boston in November. Cena's last time in Boston. It's like $350 for the top row, and the Boston Garden is a big venue.
Yes, it is.
It's a big NHL, big NBA venue. Springfield sits less than 7, and these tickets were still less expensive. With the lower amount of tickets, almost half the tickets that the Boston Garden, the TD Garden can do.
Well,
so
yep. Because it's a smaller place, and it's the parking around the venue is shit.
Yeah, I've got my tricks, which I will not divulge online, but there's not a bad seat in Springfield. There's not a bad seat in Hartford. So when wrestling does come around, as long as you're in the building, you get a good view of it. I am interested to see how this reno goes on the XL Center. I think it should have been gutted and torn down. I think they should have built from the ground up and built a real not stadium, but real arena there.
They could have if they didn't invest all that fucking money into building the stupid ass Yard Goat Stadium a few years ago.
Which is a good stadium if you're into baseball. It doesn't have a whole lot of charm. It's starting to find its charm. When it's opening season, there's just that big gray courthouse in the back, the government house there, which is all concrete, and they hadn't filled in the signs and stuff like that, and it was a hell of a trying to get that built with the Steelworkers Union stuff. There was a lot of stuff going on right there. It's obviously hyper local to Hartford, but I do like Yard Goats. I've had great times at Yard Goats, and again with the pitch clock, that is a 2.5 hour game, so you're not there all night, which I don't mind. I like getting in, I like getting out. Story of my life. And it would have been nice to build that. They had one chance in the 80s when the roof collapsed, and they did a reno then. They did another reno in the in like 2010 in that area. But that arena is a piece of shit. It's falling down. There's one crumbling wall that you have to squeeze by when you're heading over to those seats that you like, actually. The bar seats there underneath.
Yeah, the action zone. Yeah.
But there's one, I'm sure they've taken care of it. I went there for a Springfield Thunderbirds playoff game with the Hartford Wolfpack, and like the screen reset halfway through the game. No one knew the score or the time, and like the Windows startup screen was on the big screen, and all the video boards that are around the skirt of the arena. So I'm glad they're putting some money into it, but it should have been rebuilt and maybe even put on the other side of the river. So because there's loads of land in East Hartford. There's a lot of land down by Xfinity, oddly enough, between Xfinity and the highway and the river. There's places down there. It is centrally located. That's nice, but they either should have shut it down for 2 years and came back strong, or built a whole new building.
Yeah, it's story of Connecticut and all that shit. I mean, like the only reason UConn has Rentschler Field and it looks so nice is because we got fucked back in the mid '90s when we were supposed to get the Patriots, but Bob
Yeah.
Kraft fucked the state in the ass with a fucking cactus.
My life would have been very different if the New England Patriots were 22 minutes away. I would have seen a lot more of those games.
Yeah. But anyways, also on the note of apparently there's a population of people that are super fucking pissed off because Cena's last time in Boston is not Cena's last appearance.
No. So
DC.
and I fully believe the did you hear any of the scuttlebutt on that? Because I fully believe it. Because this company, and I think they showed that with WrestleMania in Vegas and what they did to New Orleans, is that this company are just salesmen now. So the rumor is that they wanted
Put in the higher bid, yeah.
well, the rumor is they weren't really bidding it out, but they wanted 5 or 7 from Boston to do it. And that would have gotten them, I think, the SmackDown, the Saturday night's main event, the One Dead Man show, and probably some other Be a Star community outreach, public workout
The
at
whole
Government
rigmarole
Center
goes along with like the big 4 weekends.
or something. And they said no, and DC said yes. And I think that's kind of shitty. I think it's disrespectful to John, though I'm sure John doesn't really care. But and it kind of sucks because I was putting money aside. I wanted to go to John Cena's last match. I don't think there's any chance I'm going to DC now.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to go to DC the way that I went to SummerSlam, which was without a ticket, and then made my own magic happen because the difference of 3 hours. Like literally, if I didn't get a ticket to SummerSlam, I could have been home before SummerSlam started, essentially, missed the first hour of SummerSlam and been there. Or if I only got a Saturday ticket to SummerSlam and realized I paid too much and it wasn't going to go my way Sunday, I would have went home and threw a party. You can't do that when you're 8 hours away in DC. So I'm not going to go to DC unless I know I have a ticket and a ticket I like, and I'm not
Plus,
I'm not built for that right now.
I don't
Money's a
even
little
wanna go
tight.
to DC the way DC is right now.
Well, it's safe now. Everything's safe now in DC.
Yeah,
Chicago and Boston are next.
Dude, that's a whole nother can of worms for a whole nother show. But
Yeah.
I heard like some and dude, people like the internet. Matt, are you there?
No, I'm here.
Okay.
I put on the do not disturb. I use my phone for the camera because it's the best camera in the world, and you put on do not disturb and people still call, and it still like knocks me out for a second.
So there's a lot of people on the internet are fucking stupid and thinking why it's in DC other than they put in the big bid. So reasonable rumor mill stuff is a Batista appearance. You know, put a bow on that, even if it's just a handshake in the ring for John's last match. You know, I don't think Dave is getting jacked right now, considering we just saw how thin he was a month or two ago. Like, so I'm pretty sure we're not going to get a.
I also highly doubt he lives in DC anymore. So,
yeah, I don't think so. But it's like that was his hometown, so whatever it is. Other people are fucking stupid and thinking it's going to be like, oh, Cena's going to do a spot. He's going to give Trump the AA. Fuck no. None of that is happening.
none of that's happening. He might be in the building being a WWE Hall of Famer. Hopefully not. He's going to get the shit booed out of him like he did at SummerSlam.
He will get booed worse than Hogan and Englewood.
Just like SummerSlam, just like so I'm messing with a new setup today and I'm across the room from my computer and it's not working out good for me. Sorry. It's
It's okay.
it keeps going into sleep mode and then my keyboard is too far away to get me out of sleep mode. So I'll be futzing with that again in the future. But so I don't think that it's going to be a I don't think that I think maybe there's a Batista thing, but I don't think that that's why WWE. I mean, if WWE is taking care of hometown guys, they would have done Cena in Boston. You know what I mean?
Right.
So a little disheartening. I really wanted to be there. I really wanted to be there. Around Christmas, I can talk myself into spending the extra money to get a hotel and make a big thing with my brother and my friend Nick and stuff like that. But we shan't be going to DC. So yeah, it sucks, but I'm sure it's better for business if they got $7 million to go to DC on a random weekend in December.
Yeah, and this is kind of an overscoping issue with what people are complaining about corporate greed, blah blah blah. Some of it, yes, okay. This is the issue at hand: is the fact that right now Endeavor's not making a lot of money. The only part of TKO Group Holdings that is pulling in profit is WWE. And that's shown on the balance sheets in the past, because they released like the figures for last year, and WWE netted a profit. What do you call it? WWE only netted a profit of like $20 million for the year. It's because of how much Endeavor is losing that they're trying to balance it out, and basically WWE is the cash cow that they just keep fucking milking right now until until they can't, because that's one of the issues with their corporate structure is rather than do some things to improve the other things under their umbrella, they're just pouncing on this right now and hoping that the other one's going to get some big resurgence because dumbasses are trying to advertise a UFC match on Pennsylvania Avenue, which is never going to fucking happen.
I think you're going to see UFC going to Saudi 3 times a year like WWE is. I think that's the only way to get the.
I mean, aren't they already going to Dubai like once or twice a year?
Yeah, but that's not Riyadh season. Like that's not the Saudis and their fucking blood money. Like
they're already going that far. Yeah. But yeah. So it is what it is. People are going to complain. I'm just going to watch it on TV at home. I already upgraded my Disney bundle, so I've got the ESPN. I downgraded my Peacock bundle because, I mean, as I found out anyways, you still get commercials during fucking the Peacock stuff anyways. So even if you're at the top tier, so fuck that. I went down to the bottom tier, and I'll just, so I can still watch the NXT stuff and the Saturday Night's main events. And that's how it is. So yeah. So before we continue on, and I wanted to have a little bit of space in between before we actually, I didn't want to seem like a stupid ass shill or whatever, but I got to do the ad read for the show. And let you know that this edition this episode is brought to you by W Energy, the clean energy and hydration formula I personally use to keep myself sharp when I'm deep into wrestling marathons, movie reviews, or long editing sessions. What makes W different? No sugar crashes, no maltodextrin fillers, no weird artificial colors, just natural energy from coffee fruit extract and a solid kick of B vitamins. It's clean, it's effective, and it actually tastes good. And trust me, the flavors we have are fun. With names like Galaxy Grenade, Dub Sludge, S'mores, Grandpa's Denture Water, or what I'm drinking today, the Cali O Cream. They sound wild, but they hit every time. So here's the deal. Scan the QR code on your screen or hit the direct link in the description below and head over to w.gg. At checkout, use the promo code FullCircleRadio for 10% off your order, and that's every order. So don't be a dummy. Get yourself a tubby of Dubby. Dubby, be better.
I got I'm back. No, I turned off it was going to sleep on me, so I got rid of all that. It was scheduled for like 10 minutes of sleep, and I'm like, turn that off.
That's fine. I was in the middle of the ad read and didn't even notice you were gone.
No, I picked my spot.
I got professional. I actually typed an ad read.
So yeah, SmackDown, I did enjoy. I think it was just the waiting game after that for AJ Lee, which, man, Phil, fucking all right. You want to lead a water to horse. Talk about lead a water to horse. He did it, and then he did it, or lead a horse to water. He did it, and then he did it, and then he did it again, and then he's like, don't worry, I won't touch you, but I know someone that will. And that wasn't the end of it. Then he walked around the ring. He's like, you guys know I'm real close to somebody. And then fucking that still wasn't it. And then finally he's like, and here she is. Like, it's like, Jesus Christ.
It was a drag.
I hate how nothing's a surprise anymore. And I understand we need people to tune in. And this isn't even the most egregious thing that they've done. I think the worst things they do are Rumble surprises where we're watching the Rumble. Nobody's watching the Rumble more because Batista's going to be number 30. You don't need to bring Batista out 2 weeks before to say I'm officially in the Royal Rumble.
Right.
That also, I also have said that had they waited on that and Batista hits number 30 that year, it's Daniel Bryan who. I think that I don't think that the Yes movement has as much steam as it does. I don't think he's certainly not winning that belt at Mania. If Batista was unannounced, number 30, it would have flipped the fucking world on its ear, and it would have been nothing but give me Evolution 3-way at WrestleMania, and I think that's what we would have got. Daniel Bryan who.
Exactly.
So and you know, that obviously I think it worked out probably better for the business with Daniel Bryan and Batista got real sour on the business because of that run and left very quickly after they touched Shield like once or twice, and then he doesn't come back until Give Me What I Want. But I don't. We're watching. The world is watching. You have us trained. Let me see it play out on my screen. I had no idea when Vince turned around that night and said, "Me and the NWO." That was fucking. I still get goosebumps watching that. When he said, "It takes a real son of a bitch to make it in this business, and from one son of a bitch to another, the new general manager of Raw is Eric Bischoff." Those are fucking great moments. Cena in 2010 blew the roof off Madison Square Garden. He was supposed to be gone for 4 more pay-per-views. He was supposed to be gone till SummerSlam, and he comes back and wins the Royal Rumble. I like surprises. Edge in 2020 was done perfectly. The pandemic cut that off at the knees, but Edge's return with people in 2020 was amazing. More stuff like that. I don't have a whole lot of it. It was good to see AJ Lee. Obviously, that was a great moment. Obviously, I got goosebumps. She looks like $1 million. Those abs you could fucking wash clothes on.
Hey Matt.
Yeah.
Your camera is frozen.
Oh, did it? It's because fucking people keep calling me. That's fine.
It's okay. It happens.
Yeah, it sucks, dude. I put that. You heard me put the do not disturb on. There's just like no way to do it. So yeah, sorry, I was making good points there, but I want more of that. So yes, you look good. Yes, it was good. I didn't catch the full segment on Monday. I'm not sure how that went. How did that go? Or did you watch the AJ come out as herself and tell everyone and get a cheer for going to therapy? And
yeah, the crowd chanted for therapy. What I was doing was I was trying to multitask. It was on in here, but I had Phil's member show, PWT show on my phone because I was in the kitchen making sausage. So I was trying to do like 3 things at once, and so it was what it was. More people are talking about the other AJ thing on Monday, which is another huge
which I didn't catch live. Then I heard about how he dropped this pipe bomb and melted my 52-inch screen. And then I went and saw it, and I was like, this is it. This is it, you guys.
The reason you didn't see it is because it happened during the commercial break, so only the people internationally saw it. That's why, because Phil was watching it. He's like, AJ's talking. He's like, and he flubbed it. Like, he was trying to do a pipe bomb, and he fucking flubbed it. But basically, they're trying to work the dirt sheets again, because everyone's like, AJ's contract is coming up and blah, 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 and everyone thinks that AJ is going to do, like, a run, like, he'll, because he wants to do Japan and AEW, but no, he's not. He will fucking finish in WWE. He'll go do a fucking nostalgia fucking spot or 2 in TNA. He'll go work for Noah or something like that, unless WWE finally opens up the doors to work with New Japan. And that's going to be it.
Could you see the New Japan thing happening, or do they have anything more than a handshake deal with AEW? And if AEW loses its TV and there's no, and plus the worlds collide. Where was it? Long Island, New Jersey. Where the fuck was it? The Izod Center? Where was Worlds Collide? Where was their big New Japan show with 5 Asian guys on it? And where was the big paper?
Forbidden Door.
Forbidden Door. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, Forbidden Door was it was in Canada. It was in like
Oh, it
Toronto
was?
or something. Yeah, and it was like it was a couple of Japanese people and like 2 people from CMLL. But yeah, it was a nothing show. It was forgettable. Yeah, it's it's the law of diminishing returns between AEW and New Japan, and eventually they're going to learn that. I honestly think Tony is slipping money to Gato under the fucking table to keep the shit going, and that's going to blow up in their face one day because New Japan right now is like WWF in 1994. Like that's how they're getting. Like as far as like interest and viewership and attendance. That's what it is.
Yeah, because they're not. I mean, where did they go to the Tokyo? They did the Tokyo Dome once, right? And it was.
They did an AEW show back in January. They did it the night after Wrestle Kingdom, and it drew fucking flies. It was bad.
It was bad.
Yeah.
Attendance-wide, it was bad, and that's like an 80,000, right? That's 100,000. That's a gigantic stadium, correct? The Tokyo Dome.
Tokyo Dome capacity 55,000.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean that's still big, but it didn't. What they draw? 20, 17,
Not even. It was under 20,000. I know that.
and people looked very far away. The ones that were there, they looked far away because they had it set up for a stadium, and yeah. So, yeah, I could see that. I could see that happening. But no, I don't think AJ did all that. AJ was rewarded in the final third of his career by coming to WWE after having done all that. I don't think there's any reason now. What has he been here? 8 years, 9 years?
Something like that, yeah.
I don't think there's any reason to go. Right. AEW never had anything for him. I mean, he was here when AEW, whatever, but still. If he was to go somewhere, it would have to be for nostalgia reasons, not to start a whole new thing. And I think WWE has treated him very well over the last 10 years. He's had amazing WrestleMania matches. He's had a couple main event runs. He's had a couple title runs. And he's always, I can't think, he's not been treated like a joke. I think that the closest it's been has been this last run with Dom and stuff, but just because he's doing ha-has doesn't mean that he's being treated like a joke. I think he's going to be rewarded. He's clearly a WWE Hall of Famer. Right. He it will be a TNA Hall of Famer if he isn't already.
Yeah, he won't accept a bid into it until after he's gone to WWE.
Until after he's done, which is smart. So yeah, I don't see any ill will between those two, other than the fact that they fired a bunch of his friends over the years. But Gallows and Anderson's made a bunch of fucking money here, and there was 18 months they were on that roster where I didn't even know they were on that roster.
Right.
And that's happened more than once.
Yeah. Personally, I don't care for AJ, but that's kind of already out there and everything. But yeah, every point you made is valid. The way he cut the promo, he alluded to someone in the back keeps disrespecting me, yada, yada. It was very familiar to the things that Cross was saying during his Ariel Helwani interview, which further makes me believe this is a work to work the dirt sheets. And honestly, I don't want to see it, but I could see eventually come January, I could see AJ flipping heel and Cross coming back and one or two other people all doing we're sick of the establishment and we're here to disrupt the company who doesn't want us because we became famous elsewhere type of cliche stable. I think that's what's coming down the pipeline.
Sure.
Just me.
Sure. And I think Nash talked about it. Nash talked about being one of the guys that tried to put this company under, and he's treated differently than some of the homegrown stars. But I don't think that's true anymore. I really don't. I mean, the guys that tried to put them under that was 20 years ago. And look at Cody, who literally tried to put them under, who smashed the throne and did things to hurt this company that ended up not hurting this company, and he was welcomed back with open arms. Punk talk shit for a decade, lawsuits, welcome back with open arms. So I don't think that there is a whole lot of credence in this company. We weren't made here, and this company doesn't love us. That was Vince shit, and Vince is gone. But I'm not saying that wouldn't be a good angle. I just don't think there's a lot of the dirt sheets should be smart enough to realize that theory or that storyline isn't out there anymore.
So yeah, so let's move on from WWE because we got some shit to talk. So this has nothing to do with, well, not really, but kind of. But so AEW and their fuckery lately. So they're in the middle of their residency at the 2300, which they've been doing about 900 people per show, I think, for Dynamite. I don't know about Collision. I do know for a fact that you can fit more than 900 people in that fucking building, like for wrestling. MLW does it quite regularly. So, how much does it say that? And the thing is, they're not selling out either. Like, they set up for 980 or something, and they're only doing like 916, which means even with them, I guarantee they've got guys standing at fucking Tony Luke's up the street, handing out fucking comps an hour before, and no one's taking them. Like, nobody cares. And you can't do a residency at the 2300. The reason ECW always drew there, number one, is because they had a great product. But number two, they only ran there once a fucking month. Like, every time you saw Hardcore TV, it was bits of one taping chopped up. And then when they started doing pay-per-views, they would be there twice, 3 times a month tops. They weren't there for 3 weeks straight, 3 days a week. However, there's 2 things I want to touch on here. I'm going to go with this first. So, I'm just going to make sure I have it up to share screen. A little something happened, and this is the kind of shit that AEW is fucking doing. And I believe this happened on Collision. I know, so take his sneakers. So that was Don Callis choking out a child. The child was Big Boom AJ's kid, Big Justice, whatever the fuck the kid's name is. So, we're just allocating and advocating child abuse now. Number one, you're using Don Callis, who's already a known sex pest. So that doesn't work well. Number two, it's the kid's a minor. No way how you fucking cut it. You're doing a fucking, you're doing a spot with a minor. Now, of course, I know some people brought up, where was all the outrage when Bobby Lashley put Goldberg's kid in the Hurt Lock in Saudi? I bitched about that too, because it was dumb. But it reminded me of something else as well, because, well, what happens with AEW is it's always a callback to something else. Jesus, why is everyone trying to fucking DM me at the same fucking time? Oh, God. Da, 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 da. I think this is it. Nope, that's not it. So it must be this one. Yes. So what was funny was, in my Facebook memories, and I'm not going to read this whole thing, but this is a Facebook memory that came up from August 9th, 10 years ago. It was a big rant I went off about. It was basic wrestling terminology. It was divided into certain things. Section 1 was names, drawing power, and internet fame. Section 1 subsection A was no indie wrestler is your total draw. It's a combined effort. Section 1 subsection B is there's no such thing as internet famous when it comes to independent wrestling. Section 2, psychology, heritage, and suspension of belief. Section 3, the convergence of the previous sections, which lead me to this. The Young Bucks video circulating makes zero fucking sense. They're super kicking a fan and his child for no apparent reason, and the crowd is fucking cheering. Because 2 adults assaulting a child is perfectly fine, right? Even if it was made to garner heel heat, it's still fucking wrong. You all wanted to jump down Chris Dickinson's throat for the Kimberly spot, but as they're both workers. Not to mention that the Bucks let this kid beat on them, and
they sold
it. Because,
that was the worst part.
A highly decorated and world-renowned tag team getting their asses handed to them simultaneously by a fucking 9-year-old is completely plausible, right? Also, the defense is that the kid asked for this for his birthday. So, a true professional would shy away from this and tell them, no, we can't do that. It's really dangerous, and you could get seriously hurt, little buddy. Instead, what do? Completely throw heritage psychology out the fucking window by exposing the inner workings of the business to a fucking child. Welcome to throwing future money down the fucking drain for the sake of a cheap pop at an indie show. And for those of you that want to say, yeah, but this gives the Bucks more exposure, which means they'll get more bookings, and the promoter who let it happen reaps the benefits. Once again, you're fucking wrong. True promoters will see this is careless and will shy away from booking 2 asshats who would do such a thing. The promoter who let it happen, good luck finding a venue to run in going forward on any local community group that sees this video and says, if this is the kind of activity you condone, we don't want you running in our town. Eventually, there will be less promoters who are marked for themselves and their buddies running shows because they will go bankrupt by booking internet darlings and not advertising. When that happens, I guarantee the Young Bucks will really start to regret the last time they were offered a tryout from WWE and turned it down because they felt it was below them. And if it weren't for AEW forming, that's where the Bucks would still be. But, 10 years apart, and by the way, without using Google, any of you watching, I guarantee you can find the video of the spot. Try to tell me what company it is, what city it happened in. You know that it happened in 2015 because I just gave you the date of the memory.
No, and I vaguely remember them selling for the girl. Mm-hmm. Couldn't tell you what the company was. Couldn't tell you if it even had.
The company is no longer in business.
Couldn't tell you if it happened in the United States.
It did.
And I wouldn't have even remembered that it was 10 years ago. So where was it?
It was at an indie in, I think it was, I want to say New Hampshire, but I know it wasn't because there would have been more people. I know it was an American city, and I know it was in a typical indie wrestling venue. And here's the kicker was the Young Bucks were on this show, and you could tell the crowd was like maybe 50 people. And this was back when everyone was like, oh, we got to get the Young Bucks on this show. Like, at the time, 2CW was the big fucking thing going in upstate New York. And one of their shows that they booked, they titled the show, "This was the only day the Young Bucks were available." That was the title of the fucking show.
Oh, wasn't it like a Tuesday or something?
I think it was a Sunday.
Oh, okay.
But still, fucking ridiculous. And now and here we go, Don Callis, because they're like, oh yeah, we'll get heat because he's choking out. No, that's not heat. That's fucking stupid. That's,
The only thing you're wrong about there is you said there would be less shitty independent promoters in the future. There are more.
What I meant was, it's unfortunately tax relief wrestling started becoming a bigger thing, but it was companies who would run and all they booked was internet darlings, and then they would go out of business because all they booked was internet darlings. That's basically what I meant at the time. So there's been a ton of shitty promoters that pop up, but the ones that stick around are the ones that book local guys who are untrained, who fucking work for free. But the ones that go like, I'm going to do an internet darling super show don't fucking last.
WrestleJam?
Thank you.
When was the last WrestleJam?
Oh God, it was at
2019?
I think he stopped in 2017.
I might have been on that show. I might have done the last Wrestle Jam. It was
literally the last one he did. He couldn't afford a venue, so he ended up doing it in the senior community center where he was a fucking security guard.
no. I think I did a high school. I felt like a high school where I did it.
Because he did what, like, literally, he fucking rented the common room at this fucking senior center and ran a Wrestle Jam in it. It was fucking pathetic. But yeah, so you got Don Callis doing this dumb shit. Doesn't look good for anybody. And of course, everyone's trying to defend it and be like, oh, but but what about when the kid speared a dude on the pre-show? Yeah, that wasn't any better. Like, I don't care that it was the same fucking kid. Like, it's bullshit. It's total bullshit. And your company gets frowned upon for doing shit like that, because that's when, as it is right now, AEW already has a hard time getting sponsorship, like commercial dollars. Like, Eric Bischoff's talked about it a lot of the time. He goes, you look at the commercials that happen during Dynamite, and they're make goods. They're prepaid that they have to throw in certain slots. There's no targeted commercials during Dynamite.
No, there's no super soakers. There's no karate fighters. Yeah.
Right. A video game once in a while, something like that. But it's usually for, like, whatever fucking semaglutide is, got people doing injections of now, or like, old people shit or lawsuit shit, the basic shit. So yeah. Yeah. Fucking yeah. There was two other things I wanted to bring up about Philly. Hold on, one of them. I want to make sure I've got this right. Damn it. Click. You go over here. Don't worry, I'm going to edit this part out. Motherfucker. Okay. And here. So, one of the other things coming out of Philly is this fucking nonsense right here. Because, they have to, obviously, they've got to do the most shindy fucking internet fucking booker shit ever and sell these.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So number one, that font, I used to have the ECW shirt that had that font on the back. That font only works when the lettering's in red.
Yeah, when it's red. Now it's just cum.
Yes, exactly. And here's the fucking kicker. When I tweeted it, the day I tweeted it was almost fucking was almost fucking to the day. Stop fucking DMing me, guys. Jesus fuck.
That's why we should be doing the show live, so everyone knows.
No, because it's a group chat that just keeps going. I had said when I saw that thing, I was just like, people need to stop with the fucking ripping off the ECW and NWO logo. I was like, it was tired and played out fucking 10 years ago.
Oh, 15 years ago, yeah.
Sure enough, the next day, my Facebook memories pull up. And it's, if you can go on my Twitter, link below. You got to scroll down to like a week or so ago. I screenshotted the fucking Facebook memory to the day 10 years ago. I said, wrestlers, wrestling companies, podcasts, etc. that are ripping off the ECW and NWO logos. Just fucking stop. You're not cool. You're not original. You're not edgy. This shit got old 5 years ago.
No, it was an epidemic too. I'll tell you when it was the worst. Around 2015, everyone was doing the Raw logos, the NWO logos, and then the fucking Bullet Club. Everybody had a club. Every dog shit fucking Michael Romano, every dog shit fucking Showcase Pro Wrestling, every fucking one of them.
Fucking Seven Leonard with the Bite Club because he was
Yeah.
trying to do a vampire gimmick.
All that shit. That was that, and I think that's kind of when it peaked. I don't need you to sell this either way, but I liked JT Dunn. JT Dunn, if there was one thing that I didn't like about him, was the fucking every logo. I said this with Bacon the other day, and it's not that I didn't like about him, but that like
about to bring up JT because
JT Dunn was every fucking logo that ever could have existed. He had a JT Dunn version of. I mean, God bless him, but
this was the worst part. So at the time, this is when he was tagging with that fucking idiot David Starr, and they were doing Juicy product.
Yeah.
And their whole thing was over as fuck, even though they weren't. So they released a fucking NWO ripoff shirt for over as fuck. It said OAF. I'm like, your shirt says oaf, you fucking oaf.
His Raw shirt, I think it was the OAF ones. Yeah.
He tried to tell me that he sold 10,000 of those shirts. I'm like, suck a dick. No, you fucking didn't. You sold 10 of those shirts.
I was reluctant to bring up JT Dunn because I like JT Dunn.
Fuck JT Dunn. Talk about a fucking egomaniac that still thinks he's the next AJ Styles. But yeah, also, maybe you can help me figure this out because there is another piece of merch that's being sold in Philly. And I don't know what the fuck it's supposed to be. I mean, I'm sure if you go to their shop page, like, you can fucking find it, but I don't know what the fuck this is. Fucking... What the fuck is that?
What the fuck is that?
I don't know. I need the Lex Luger clip. I don't know. Like, dude's got dick hands, and he's made out of a box. I don't know what the fuck it is. Someone, please, in the comments below, tell me what the fuck this is. I got nothing. I got nothing.
No, it's okay.
What the actual fuck? Oh, there we go. I was like, how did it change my format? That's how it changed. Okay. So, yeah. So there's a bunch of fuckery going on in Philly. They're doing a whole bunch of stupid shit to try to get the nostalgia pops. They raised Taz's fucking shit to the rafters or some shit.
Oh yeah. We didn't talk about this last week because it was too far gone. Tony Khan during that Taz thing is the most awkward, weird fucking weirdo that whole time. So weird. He gets in and he's asking people if he can talk. Like he commands no presence or respect. Like, picture Vince. Go watch that and swap Tony Khan for Vince and see if it would have been handled that way. He like gets his foot caught up getting into the ring, which Vince wasn't beyond that. Vince might get his foot caught up in the ring. But he is looking around. He has no idea because he doesn't know TV. So he's looking around like, am I supposed to be here? Am I in my right queue? Like, you're in charge. The queue is when you fucking start talking. And then as he starts in the middle of him talking, he gets out of the ring, stands on the apron, but the whole time he's talking, he's walking through the ropes, getting through the ring, and then goes and stands next to Taz, and it's all so awkward. Watch Tony Khan during the Taz Hall of Fame thing.
Yeah, and that's the thing, too, is it happened during a commercial break or before the show because Taz said he didn't want it to take away from the actual fucking TV show. So good on Taz for that.
No, I think he deserves it though. Like, I don't think that was the move. I think that he should have. But the whole clip that I watched is so odd.
Yeah. So here's the other big story about Philly. So during the residency at Philly, they were supposed to have the ROH Death Before Dishonor or whatever it was, pay-per-view on August 29th. Well, you see, and that would have been fine. It's a Saturday, whatever. You're doing an ROH pay-per-view in Philly. Maybe you'll draw your full 950 or whatever. So at the last minute, Tony Khan changed the date. So it got moved to September 6th. Oh, but there's a reason. You see.
Oh, wait, you told me. Yeah, you told me.
Oh,
We've
don't
done this
worry.
before.
Don't worry. It's gonna. I'm gonna tell you why. Because see, August 29th, something else was happening. MJF's wedding.
Oh, that's what it was.
So MJF got married on August 29th.
Yeah, scheduled his shit around TV. Like, obviously, him and Alicia and everybody else scheduled their shit correctly around TV.
Right.
But Tony has other irons in the fire.
Right. All the fucking main roster guys that wouldn't be on the ROH show were going to be at the wedding. He made it so, basically he worked around. It's like, okay, you're not booked, so whatever. But no. Fucking, here comes Tony Khan, reschedules an ROH pay-per-view so he can show up at Max's fucking wedding, makes himself the fucking center of attention, as you can see here, and honestly, all I can say is these women's faces fucking says it all.
Oh, maybe. Maybe. I mean, it depends. It depends on what the gift was. Maybe the gift was outrageous, and these brides that bride and her girls don't give a shit. That is just one picture, though. The beef should be the fact that he can't fucking walk away from his product at all and has no superior leadership of anybody that can run his show of a company that was running fine before he bought it. Maybe not fine, but had figureheads, had a tech crew, had people in charge that should have been able to figure out how to run a pay-per-view so Tony could go to this wedding, which I'm sure was a very beautiful wedding and a very nice moment for the bride and groom to have their boss there and blah, blah, blah. Like, that's...
I want to see how fucking awkward it was because fucking Pillman Jr. was at that wedding. They clipped him out of that picture.
Oh, he's out of that picture, but he's in I've seen him.
Yeah.
He's in that picture.
Yeah, and like it's just the fact that like you could like as it is, most of the time Tony doesn't book Ring of Honor. He's got Lee Moriarty or Lee Johnson, one of them, doing most of the fucking shit for ROH, like because it's just matches for the sake of matches. It's like you have producers that could have been there taken, but no, Tony has to fucking have his thumb in everything. So he reschedules an entire pay-per-view. It's like most of the guys who work in ROH like are on per diem contracts. That's what people don't seem to understand. So by doing this, you fuck them out of a payday. Like, okay, obviously they're still going to work, but they could, they possibly have already booked fucking flights.
Sure, yeah.
They could have taken an indie booking in their fucking area that weekend, so they lost out on money there. Just like, or they had to reschedule. Maybe they had family plan. Like, it's unprofessional. It's some shit. And like Phil pointed it out, he was like, "That's some billionaire nepo baby shit right there." And I got into an argument with some jackass, and he was like, "So he's not allowed to attend a wedding that he was invited to?" And I said, "You're missing the point."
Yeah,
and,
he's
said,
of course he is.
So here's my point. The point is, this dude's an absolute fucking moron. The date of a pay-per-view being moved affects everyone from the top down. It affects the producers who already have the date, who already have the time set aside. It affects the venue who already had the date booked and now can't book it for something else. It also affects the entire roster of people who are supposed to be on the show, a lot of which are under ROH per diem deals and could have taken bookings elsewhere that weekend. But they couldn't. Why? Because the owner of the company decided he wanted to go party with the boys instead. How many times have you seen Vince McMahon or Dixie Carter or Paul Heyman completely reschedule the date of a pay-per-view so they could go fuck off and party with the boys? It's utterly irresponsible from both a financial and a moral standpoint.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm glad he got to go to the wedding. I'm sure that was very nice for everyone involved. And but just that, first of all, I'm sure that wedding was scheduled a year and a half ago, like all weddings. You get the save the date. And the save the date, I mean, this company is booking 4 months out. So you're telling me the save the date didn't come before you booked this venue?
Right.
So yeah, he could have spent the summer training somebody to take over that role for that pay-per-view that day.
Right.
Instead, he just, I mean, he's not running a ship over there, dude. It's obvious. It's more obvious to me now when I saw that Taz thing. He's awkward. He's commanding no leadership over there. Could you imagine? Just go back for me. Go back and watch Tony get in the ring for the Taz thing and pretend it's Vince and tell me what's different.
And dude, you're giving me awesome fucking segue material here. Because you see, apparently we have also learned where Tony got his awkwardness from. I don't know if you've seen this. So football season has begun. For those of you who may not be in America, American football, not football as you call football. I know you don't like the word soccer, so football, American football. So the American football season has begun. Apparently, the Jaguars are off to a decent start because they beat the worst team in the league. And they got apparently the owner had to give them a rally speech. Dude, this is so fucking great.
This is what we envisioned in January, okay?
Yes, sir.
It's happening here in September. Gonna go on forever!
Forever.
It literally sounds just like the way Tony does it.
Well, I give Shad more of a pass because I believe that English is not his first language.
Yeah.
Tony, English is his first language, right?
Yes.
Stop calling me.
Yeah. But it's like, and because I remember a lot of people were on it when Tony did the stupid fucking the tummy poke of doom, and took the Meltzer driver.
Yeah.
And then Daddy Shad was there only because he was there because the NFL draft was the next day. And
Yeah. Then they had the bath.
right, and he had the neck brace and chip, and they're like, Shad Khan should become like the new authority. No, obviously he can't. Not that he would. He wouldn't have no interest, but he can't fucking talk.
Yep. That was good.
But yeah, Daddy Shad is just as awkward. We're going on to do this.
I wonder if English is Tony's first language.
It is. Because he was born in America. He's not dual citizenship, and he fucking grew up in Illinois. But yeah, fuck. So, a couple other things I wanted to cover before we get out of here. I'm just going to check the format real quick because I don't want to do the thing here. I'm going to edit this. I'm getting really good with DaVinci Resolve, so. Okay. And here. So, there's some things that have been coming up in my timeline, and there's a lot more grifters popping up lately. The two worst of it are Jonathan Coachman and fucking Maven. I don't know if you caught the Maven interview on Ariel Helwani.
I caught clips of that, yeah.
Yeah, where he basically like glazed the fuck out of Tony Khan. It was like, oh, AEW is one of the greatest locker rooms I've ever seen. Yeah, he got fucking paid for that. Coachman is just making up shit. Coachman is on the Meltzer train of just making up whatever the fuck he wants and making people think he knows what he's doing. I can tell you, from dealing with Jonathan Coachman on a personal basis, he's a fucking liar. I used to the worst taste in fucking alcohol. So when I fucking was one of the management at the old Southington Wine, dealt with a lot of clientele, and this is when Coachman still lived in Bristol.
Bristol, yeah.
When he was working for ESPN, so it was post WWE, still working for ESPN before because he lives out in like near Vegas now, I think. every time he would go to like some fucking place, like, you know, to have to cover like fucking like a golf tournament or some shit, whatever. And if they would have a specialty fucking thing that they were pushing there, he would come back and be like, "Oh, do you have this?" And be like, usually I would, because I kept on top of trends. But if we didn't, I was like, "Oh, well, we can get it in." And we would get it in, and he would buy it maybe like twice. And then we'd be fucking stuck with it.
Yeah, yeah.
And the worst fucking, because the thing was, it was like, because the owner of the store was like, "It's a guy from ESPN. We gotta make sure we keep these."
Gotta get it, yeah.
And I'm like, "Dude, it's fucking Coachman." I was like, "We're gonna make fucking $20 off this dude for this, and then nothing ever again." For 2 fucking years, we had to keep in stock the most vile shit that I have ever seen in my life, because he had it at a fucking U.S. Open fucking golf tournament. Fucking Budweiser and Bud Light Chelada.
Oh yeah, cheladas, yeah.
Bud mixed with fucking Clamato juice. So fucking nasty.
I had a lot of those.
I'm willing to try shit. Ugh.
I had a lot of micheladas, like actually in Mexico with
so
like
genuine
with.
micheladas are a different story.
Yes, I know, very much so.
That shit was so nasty though.
Yeah, it was gross.
And the whole thing with Budweiser products is they have the born on date. You got to keep them in code, and that shit always kept going out of code. Because he would buy it twice a year if we were lucky, but we had to keep it in stock. No one else bought it ever. Pain in the ass. But yeah, so I don't trust anything that fucking Coachman says. And Maven, everyone really jumped on him, like, because like he started doing shit. He gained a lot of YouTube followers fast.
Yeah.
And he was like exposing the business and shit. And I was almost on board with them until he did the video on Credible. Because he did the video on Credible because people were like, "Oh, you know, Credible, you know, I paid for an 8x10. He never sent it to me. This, that, and the other thing. He ripped me off. He's sending fake pictures of what his leg looks like, all this shit." And he goes and he finds PJ. And he sits down with PJ. And they start going over stuff. And PJ shows him his fucking leg and goes, "It's not a fucking work." And he's like, "Yeah, there's some people I fell behind on sending 8x10s. I'm trying to get that shit sent out." He's like, "I'm not trying to screw over anybody. Like, PJ has been on a little hard times and everything. It's, you know, obviously, you know, we both had our own experiences with him. I know you didn't have the greatest of experiences the last time you were around him, and we know it's documented and shit. And he was in a bad place at that time, and I'm not excusing what he did. I just know that in the past couple of years, you know, in recent memory, he's been trying to stay on the straight and narrow. I know that he's clean. Why? Because he's fat, and when he's fat, we know he's clean.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of stuff, a lot of personal family issues with health stuff, not his own health, but other family, and just, you know, making sure that and everything. And like, it seemed like a genuine fucking thing where it's like, okay, PJ's getting word out, because a lot of shit that was being said by that little piece of shit Nathan Ward, who I could tell I could go off for hours on how much of a piece of shit that kid is and how he fucked over a lot of people besides PJ. And there's a reason why no one wants to fucking associate with him. And he was the biggest fucking person who's saying, like, "Just incredible ripoff, blah, 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 blah." And the video seems like, okay, it seems like PJ has been partially exonerated. He took responsibility for some of the things that were going on. And he said he's trying to improve on it. And we go from there. And then just the last fucking bit of that video is Maven standing in front of a green screen going, "Well, I talked to some people afterwards, and it turns out PJ's just gone back to his old ways, and he's still fucking people over." I'm like, no, he's not! You
just talked to him.
Clickbait piece of shit! Like, with no proof. He's just like, "I talked to some people, and he's still doing it." Like, no! Bring receipts, asshole! So after that, I was like, fuck Maven. Fuck everything he does. I don't trust a fucking word he says. And when he started doing that, he was like, "Hey, Doug, he's the greatest fucker." Yeah, you got paid, fucker. Tony Khan fucking paid you to fucking...
Yeah, because in the week before, he's deciphering the Unreal and he's talking shit about Triple H.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next week, he's saying that stuff. I did enjoy the Perry Saturn thing that he did. He wanted to go... You know, he wanted to go have it out with Perry Saturn about being a bully, and fucking Perry was just like, yeah, definitely, I probably did do that, and this and that, and that, like, ended up being a really good conversation. Yeah.
Were you at the New England Hall of Fame when Perry got inducted?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know we were both. I wasn't sure if you were there. I remember.
Well,
being there.
so I was sitting next to him,
Mhm.
and one of the guys that went in was talking about concussions.
Yeah, it
And
was,
fucking
the referee, the extreme enforcer referee.
okay, and he was like, and I just met, or maybe it was someone that was putting him in or something. He's like, and you talk to Perry. He's like, you talk to Perry Saturn, and poor Perry Saturn. And I look at Perry, and I was like, I was like, he was like, I ain't that poor. And he was like, I was like, fuck this guy. He's like, yeah, fuck this guy. Someone was talking shit, and I was like, I know Perry is not going to like what it was just said. So I leaned over to Perry to like see his reaction, and he leaned over to me and fucking, but yeah, he was very nice at that thing.
Yeah, he was, and because of the thing, like when he did his acceptance, he was like, "I'm not good at giving speeches, but thank you." Like, because he didn't. How is he supposed to follow the dude being like, "Oh yeah, he's gonna, he's got an appointment with Chris Nowitzki, CTE Center, and blah blah blah." It's like that's great, no, but you don't need to air all his shit. Like,
No, don't bring it up right now.
yeah, no, Perry. Yeah, Perry was very cordial that night, and he's a very private person. Like, that's all it was. The other memory I have about that night was there was no food at that venue, and we were fucking starving, and all we wanted was for it to end, and then Jimmy Valiant just kept talking.
Dude, there is a moment at that night, and like in my dealings with him, he's a nice guy, and I just think that I don't know. I question how he does things and why he does things, but there was a moment that night when Hercules' widow is giving a speech. And I had already clocked it. Joe was in the corner, like, fucking losing his shirt. Joe Bruin.
Oh, yeah.
Was in the corner, losing his shirt on this fucking deal. Like, and she's like saying, and she's thanking him and looking at him, and he hasn't picked it up yet. And she's like, "So thank you, Joe Bruin." And he's like, "Oh, yeah, thank you." And then just goes right back to his phone. You could tell he was losing his fucking shirt that night. That was the worst one. There were really good ones at the convention center in Providence.
Right.
And then that one was at like a fucking AF.
Like a
You couldn't even fit a wrestling ring in this. You couldn't fit a wrestling ring in that hall that we did that show in.
Yeah. Well, 'cause I only went to the Hall of Fame bit. I didn't go to the wrestling show before.
I didn't either, but that part where the ceremony was could not have fit a fucking wrestling ring.
Not at all. No.
It was smaller than any venue PvP has ever run.
Yeah.
No, I went because Johnny went in that night, and you guys went because Ariel went in that night.
Yep. Yeah, and I think that was the only reason we went was because Ariel was getting in, and of course, fucking Mies had to horn in on that shit, even though he wasn't one of the presenters. That's the story of my fucking life. I know that venue's bar made fucking bank that night because
that was nice, but because it was Johnny Idol, Aaron Morrison, Marshall McNeil, all those guys, plus your whole crew.
It wasn't even like I'm talking about the fans that paid to be there because they were so drunk and acting like it was a wrestling show and doing chants. Because I remember me and Tunis were both like, "You motherfuckers are disrespecting JJ Dillon. I'm gonna fucking kill you."
Tom Burt gave a big fucking speech that night over somebody that no one fucking knew. It was a rough night.
Yeah, and plus like that was I was either just removed from a surgery or I was due for a surgery, and I didn't bring my pain meds with me, and I was in so much fucking pain. Like we went back to the motel to fucking change because we were staying overnight in Providence, and a bunch of people were meeting up at the Chili's. It was either the Chili's or the TGIF, whatever. And we went there, and like I was sitting there for like 10 minutes. I was like, I can't even order food. I'm in so much fucking pain. Like, guys, I gotta go. I'm sorry. Like, good seeing all of you.
Yeah, rough night.
Like it was fucking bad. And like it was dragged on by Jimmy Valiant. I love Jimmy Valiant, but he just kept fucking talking. And like I'm sitting there with Johnny Idol and Mama Idol, and Mama Idol's like, I'm gonna kill this son of a bitch. But yeah, the memory lane, whatever. One other thing I wanted to bring up about grifters, and this came up as a sponsored ad, and I can't fucking believe this. I have so many issues with this shit. Now, I don't know why it came up with a sponsored ad for me, because this is in England, but it did. From RevPro. Ever wanted to get into the wrestling business, but not as a wrestler? We will have a unique opportunity for you this Saturday morning, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Crystal Palace National Sports Center. In his 23 years of professional wrestling, referee and 6 years as traveling manager, Bryce Remsburg. Basically, it's a Bryce Remsburg fucking
Seminar.
seminar where they tell you that you don't have to fucking bump, which is bullshit because as a fucking manager, I learned that as a wrestler, as a manager, as fucking any of that shit,
As a ring announcer, as a camera guy, as fucking anyone.
Right.
Yes.
Like, you have to learn that shit as it was. Fucking
Dude, that's what they're saying. I guarantee that's not what Bryce is saying in that fucking seminar. That might be the sell to get people to get marks to buy seminars because nobody was buying the ref seminar. And I've seen Bryce do a ref seminar, and he's very well spoken. But there's no way fucking Bryce is saying that you don't have to get.
There's a second part to this.
Okay.
Because that wasn't the only sponsored ad that came up from Rev Pro. This is where I got super pissed. Wrestling Masterclass is the first ever comprehensive learning platform to help you unlock the door to a career in the world's most exciting industry. Whether you're aiming to compete between the ropes, keep order as a referee, commentate on the action from ringside, promote your own shows, write the on-air storylines, which is called booking, asshole, run your own YouTube channel, or pursue one of the many other roles within the business, Wrestling Masterclass is the place to start. Learn from legends, 100 plus video lessons, exclusive interviews, and a seminar with Will Ospreay. Train on your own terms. Commit 20 plus hours at your pace to find your place in the industry and build a firm foundation in professional wrestling. Stand out and get certified.
Get certified.
Online wrestling school. You cannot learn the fucking business from fucking YouTube videos.
You can. If you get certified, you can.
And
then you can
on Matt's other show.
Then you could, yeah. Then you could say that you that you're, dude. That used to be big in the stunt industry. I knew lots of stunt guys who places would come by, but like, you should come with us, get certified. They're like, why the fuck? I've been a working stuntman for 15 years. Why the fuck would I get certified? That's a grift right there, dude.
Yeah, it's a grift and a half. But people are fucking buying this shit. Like, ooh,
yes, because.
Ospreay.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is they're taking all their seminars that they have already filmed. They're showing you the Al Snow fucking Hannibal TV shit.
Yep.
And fucking they're calling it a class.
Right.
Terrible.
And fucking charging for it. Like that, it's such bullshit. I can't with these, like, this is the worst grift I've seen yet. Like, I thought it was bad enough when there's all these fucking yarders who don't go to an actual school, but they pay to go to the seminars, and then they're like, I was trained by blip, 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 blip. No, you weren't.
No, you weren't.
Paid to go to a seminar where they watched you not know how to run the ropes, not know how to bump, not know how to do rolls, and that was it. What got worse was, I think it was around 2015, was when the yarders started charging for seminars.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking
yeah, there was some around us.
Yeah.
Who?
Kenny Roberts.
Oh, Kenny Roberts was a yarder?
Yeah.
Oh, I've watched him. I probably watched him wrestle 30 times. There was one up here. Oh, what the fuck was his name? Me and Billy King used to die whenever he would post something up. We'll teach you the...
Was it Joey Rockstar?
The 3-point something of fucking wrestling. What the fuck was his name? He was a backyard guy that bought a ring. He was an EWA kid that bought a ring or wanted to be an EW or UWD kid, not EWA.
Was it Joey Rockstar? Joey Gollin?
What was that? What's the shoot name?
Joey Gollin, Gaulin.
No, it was Ben. Ben something. Ben, funny last name. He reffed a couple matches and then opened a wrestling school in West Springfield. I'll look it up some other time. Ben. I can't remember. He bought a high spots ring and opened a wrestling school.
That's just like the fucking dude who ended up buying fucking Von Schitt's old ring and now tries to run a school out of a storage facility in Plainville. Fucking Grappling Greg.
Is it under a carport?
No, it's literally in a fucking storage locker, like a wide enough where you can just fit the ring. And yeah, like, yeah, no, yeah, it's these people don't realize, like, I took part in helping facilitate 2 fucking wrestling schools, like, and I was still training at the time at the first one, like, because like at that time all I had done was basically ring crew and commentary. I wasn't allowed to start managing until I learned bumping, running the ropes, rolls, fucking.
At the very least.
Fucking yeah, bare minimums, like. And as it was, like, and that's the way Mike was, like, it didn't matter what position you had. Like, when we were running drills, you got in the ring and fucking ran drills. When we were doing fucking squats, you had to get in the ring and do squats. Titus, enough. Like, that's the way it fucking was. Like, it wasn't just, come in and do whatever the fuck you want. Like, you need to know you need to facilitate all the basics. It's gotta be someone, not the mailman. He doesn't go.
It's not the mailman?
No, like the mailman, he'll just like bark a couple times and then.
Oh, that's true too. I've seen this mailman act.
Yeah.
Oh well.
There must be fucking solar salesman or something.
No, solar salesman.
That's usually what it is on the street. Guys trying to sell solar. Fucking coming up to my house and being like, "Oh, we flew a drone over your house and took pictures." I'm like, "You better delete those, fucker." Get off my fucking lawn.
Before I tell you my son's score.
Like, do I want solar in this house? Yeah, eventually. Do I want it from a motherfucker that's spying on me? No.
No.
But yeah, so it's just the fucking grift. Always the fucking grift. Like, it doesn't fucking stop. And I'm sure, like, the next time we actually do a fucking stream where we talk about old shit again, we're going to have a ton of grift stories.
There's a couple.
Yeah. But I mean, besides that, motherfucker. Like, I was gonna touch on people bitching about reaction videos, but it's not. There's nothing really there. It's just people are bitching about reaction videos that are filmed. Like, no one acts like this when they're watching wrestling. I'm like, have you never been to a friend's house when they're watching the fucking Super Bowl?
I do.
Matt James get drunk and roll in fire.
Yeah, I do react like that. I do react like that to some things, but to see someone crying because, oh man, what the fuck was that guy crying about? Yeah, AJ. No, but AJ Lee's a big one. It was worse than that. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm just jealous of them that they figured out a way to make money off of wrestling. But like Wheezy Blonde and all those people, like there's just it's a little over the top. And I never liked reaction videos. And maybe it's because I wasn't smart enough to do it myself.
I think I don't watch any of those, but it's like I watch like I'll watch like when people do reaction videos for like. Like analog horror series and everything. I mean, hell, I've done it my own. Go watch Brass Tacks. But I give analysis during it. Like, it's not just a damn, holy shit, damn.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing to that.
No, there's no talent to that. And they're just watching full out things. Like we're making on Untrained, we're making packages. We're reacting to them. We're talking about them. John Roy is editing, and things are happening on there. We're not just putting something on, and so that's that. But that's my plug. Untrained www untrained on YouTube.com.
I always link you below because my only gripe with Untrained is why do you guys set it to premiere at like midnight?
For the extra. We were doing it. It's not late, it's early because we were doing them on like Wednesdays at 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. or Thursdays at 7 p.m. And then we just started setting them to midnight the night before. Yeah. So like, don't think of it as coming out late. Think of it as coming out a day and a half a day early because we weren't playing them at 5 p.m. We weren't doing them till like 5 or 6 p.m. We're also on Facebook too. Yes. We started uploading them on Facebook. We're obviously 25 episodes behind, but we're doing once a week on Facebook too. If you'd like to watch that way,
I'll put that link below too.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, no problem. That's what I do. But yeah, if you're new to the channel, please peruse around. Me and the boys at Wildcard Cinema just did our first episode of Cinematic Jackass, where we watched the 2025 remake of War of the Worlds.
You sure did.
Did you watch it?
It was like you guys were in the movie because it's shot exactly the same way. It's shot exactly the same way.
Yes.
This could be War of the Worlds. This is War of the Worlds. What you guys did was War of the Worlds.
Dude, I had to clip out an hour and 5 minutes of technical difficulties that happened between the time I said, let's start the movie, and the movie actually starting.
Yeah, it's hard.
Hour.
Yeah, it's hard to do that.
And during that time, I was drinking.
Whoops. Doesn't get easier that way.
Yeah, I woke up the next day and said, I am not a teenager anymore. Because that whole 40 of Steel Reserve was gone. And then what was worse was right when I finished and I'm getting tired, my phone rings at fucking 2 o'clock in the morning. And it's my buddy Charlie from Starkville. Yes, that Charlie from Starkville, for those of you that watch Cornette. And we were on the phone for 2 hours.
Oh.
I did not get to sleep until the sun was coming up. And then I still had to edit.
Whoops.
So yeah. I think we've covered all bases. That's all I got. Titus, come here. Over here. Come here. Come on. Titus is here to tell you to like and subscribe. Good boy. Stop barking at everyone. He's such a sweetheart. What? Another one? Such a pig. Yes. Like and subscribe. Leave a comment below. If you know what the fuck that shirt was, please leave a comment below. I need to know. But yeah, that's what do you call it? And once again, go to w.gg, use code Full Circle Radio for 10% off your order, because you know this stuff. What do you call it? This hosting software ain't cheap.
Sure isn't.
Next thing you know, they're going to start putting tariffs on software.
It's bad. This is up to like 75 for what I'm doing.
Ooh, if it's not that bad for me, but Jesus. Oh, damn. So yeah, please do that. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got. So for Matthew James, this is Joseph J. Alexander. One last time, horns up for Team Pazuzu, and we are out of here.
Reincarnated, I was stargazing. Life goes on, honey, and all my babies. Woke up looking for the broccoli. I keep a horn on me, that come my seat. I peep ownership, the blueprint is by me. Mr. Get Off, I get off at my feet.